12 million people stopped in Primm, Nevada every year. Now it's a ghost town. Casino floors designed for thousands now serve less than 200 people on a Saturday night. The Desperado roller coaster has not moved since 2019, but someone repainted the entire track in 2023. Fresh paint on a dead ride in a dying town. 2 of the 3 casinos closed in the last 6 months. And the maintenance records show exactly who has been paying to keep the lights on in this ghost town, and even more importantly, why. To understand who is still paying and why, you need to see what Primm used to be. Before the empty casino floors, before the frozen roller coaster, and before 2 casinos went dark in 6 months. Buffalo Bills opened on August 23, 1994 at the California-Nevada border. 1,242 hotel rooms in a 31-story tower. The Desperado roller coaster cost $11 million and became the tallest, fastest roller coaster in the world at 209 feet tall and 80 miles per hour. You could see it from 15 miles away on Interstate 15 in either direction. The whole thing was designed to be impossible to ignore. Primm worked because it understood human psychology better than anyone. People driving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas were already in gambling mode after 3 hours on the highway, wound up, excited, ready to spend money. But Vegas was still 45 minutes away. Primm let them start early. Interstate 15 carried 12 million cars per year between LA and Vegas. Primm sat directly in the middle. Last chance before Vegas. First chance after California, and almost everyone stopped. Whiskey Pete's had the Wild West theme with the bullet-riddled Bonnie and Clyde death car on display. Primm Valley Resort offered golf courses and family suites. The fashion outlets had 371,000 square feet of retail space with Coach, Fendi, and Neiman Marcus. Nevada had no sales tax. California charged 8.25%. The savings alone made people pull off the highway. Between 1994 and 2008, Primm became one of the most profitable stretches of desert in America. 3 casinos generating millions in monthly revenue. 2,500 hotel rooms. 1,200 employees working the floor. 12 million visitors every single year. Hotel rooms cost $35 a night. Blackjack tables had $5 minimums. The buffet ran $6.99 all day. For working families, Primm was Vegas they could actually afford. No resort fees, no valet charges, no velvet ropes. Walk in wearing shorts and flip-flops and nobody cared. But even during the golden years, Primm had a problem nobody wanted to talk about. The town had no local economy. Those 1,200 employees did not live in Primm. They commuted from Gene Goodsprings, even Las Vegas, 45 minutes each way. Because Primm had no housing, no schools, no hospital, just casinos, a prison, an empty desert. The population of 621 was not people living there. It was people working there who claimed residency for tax purposes. Primm was entirely dependent on one highway. Every visitor came from Interstate 15. Every dollar spent came from Interstate 15 traffic. If anything happened to that traffic, Primm had nothing else. No backup plan, no other industry, no reason to exist beyond being convenient. And Primm could not evolve. Vegas could add new casinos, new shows, new attractions every year. Primm was locked in. 3 casinos, 1 outlet mall, 1 roller coaster, surrounded by federal land, boxed in by the state border. What Primm had in 1998 was what it would have forever. In America, if you're not growing, you are dying. And Primm stopped growing the day it opened. The warning signs became reality in 2008 when the entire American economy collapsed. But for Primm, the problem started earlier than that. Gas prices hit $4.50 per gallon in California during the summer of 2008. Suddenly, that weekend drive to Vegas was not fun anymore. It was expensive. Families who used to make the trip every few months started making it once a year. Or not at all. And when they did drive to Vegas, they skipped Primm. They would tank up in California, bring snacks from home, drive straight through. Every dollar saved on the drive meant another dollar to gamble on the Strip. Primm's visitor numbers dropped fast. 2005 brought 12 million visitors. 2007 dropped to 10.2 million. By 2009, it fell to 7.8 million. Those 3 casinos needed 12 million visitors to stay profitable. At 7.8 million, they were bleeding money every month. The math did not work anymore. Then in 2007, right before everything crashed, MGM Resorts bought all 3 Primm properties for $400 million. On paper, this should have been good news. MGM had resources. MGM had marketing power. MGM could save Primm. Except MGM did not want to save Primm. MGM wanted to squeeze it. MGM did this in the first year. Cut staff by 40% from 1,200 employees down to 720. Eliminated the buffets completely. No more $6.99 all you can eat. Raised table minimums from $5 to $15. Stopped maintaining the Desperado roller coaster. Deferred maintenance, reduced outlet mall lease incentives so stores started leaving. MGM was not trying to make Primm succeed. They were trying to make it cheap to operate while it died slowly. Nobody wants to admit this out loud. MGM already owned half the Las Vegas Strip, Bellagio, MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, Luxor. If you stopped in Primm and spent $500 gambling, that was $500 you did not spend at an MGM property in Vegas. From MGM's perspective, Primm was competition. Cheap, accessible competition that kept working-class gamblers from making it all the way to the real casinos. Better to let it starve. The Desperado roller coaster had problems by 2010. Cracked rails, worn wheels, safety sensors that needed replacing. State inspectors found more issues every year, and every time, MGM did the minimum necessary to keep it running. Patch it, defer it, run it until something breaks. By 2015, the ride was operating maybe 4 days a week. Weekends, only. Sometimes it would shut down midday because of mechanical problems. People would drive all the way to Primm specifically to ride the Desperado and find it closed with no explanation. The fashion outlets died around the same time. By 2015, the mall was 40% empty. Coach left, Fendi left, Neiman Marcus left. By 2018, it hit 60% empty. Whole sections went dark with gates pulled down and for lease signs in every window. 3 things killed the outlets. Online shopping made discount malls irrelevant. Why drive to Primm for cheap Nike when Amazon delivers tomorrow? California changed its tax laws and started collecting use tax on out-of-state purchases. The tax advantage disappeared, and a bigger, better outlet mall opened in Cabazon, California, closer to Los Angeles with better stores. The math stopped working, the incentive vanished, the stores left, Primm was dying, slowly, deliberately, and the company that owned it did not care enough to stop it. Then on Labor Day, weekend 2019, the Desperado roller coaster ran for the last time. No announcement, no ceremony, no final ride celebration. It just stopped. The official reason was seasonal maintenance and inspection according to the sign at the base of the ride. But seasonal maintenance does not last 5 years. Inspection does not require shutting down indefinitely. The Desperado was falling apart, and MGM did not care enough to fix it. The ride had been deteriorating for years. More cracked rails, more worn wheels, more safety sensors failing. State inspectors kept finding problems. MGM kept doing the bare minimum. Until finally they did nothing at all. By 2020, you could still see the Desperado from Interstate 15. The track was still there, the loops, the tower. But the cars sat frozen at the top of the lift hill, rusting in the desert sun like a skeleton. For people who grew up in Southern California, that roller coaster was Primm. You would see it from the highway and know you were almost to Vegas. You would tell your kids I rode that when I was your age. Now you drive past it and feel nothing, because it is dead. And nobody bothered to take it down. Then COVID-19 hit in March 2020 and killed what was left. The governor's order was clear. All casinos closed, no gaming, no hotels, no restaurants. For 3 months, Primm was completely empty. Not even truck drivers stopped. The gas stations stayed open, but the casinos went dark. When they finally reopened in June 2020, something had changed permanently. People had learned they did not need Primm. They had been driving past it for 3 months and nothing bad happened. They made it to Vegas just fine. They saved time, they saved gas money. The habit was broken. Even after reopening, Primm never recovered. The weekend crowds did not come back, the buffets stayed closed forever. Hotel occupancy hovered around 30% on weekdays, maybe 50% on weekends if they were lucky. The Desperado stayed frozen, the outlet mall stayed empty, and the 720 employees who still had jobs started looking for work somewhere else, because everyone could see what was coming. Whiskey Pete's closed in late 2023, just shut the doors one day and never reopened. No announcement, no explanation. The neon cowboy kept waving from the sign out front, but the building was dark, locked, empty. Then 6 weeks ago, Buffalo Bill's closed too. After 31 years of operation, the largest property in Primm, the one with the 1,242 hotel rooms and the frozen roller coaster, gone. The star of the Desert Arena will still open for special events, concerts, boxing matches, but the casino floor is dark. The hotel is closed. The restaurants are closed. Everything except that arena sitting silent most days of the year. That leaves Primm Valley Resort as the only casino still operating full-time. And operating is a generous word for what is happening there. The casino floor has maybe 200 people on a Saturday night in a space designed for 2,000. Most of the slot machines are still plugged in and running, screens glowing, sounds playing, burning electricity in an almost empty room. The hotel has closed entire floors. No point heating and lighting rooms nobody rents. The golf course shut down years ago. The outlets are maybe 30% occupied. Whole wings blocked off with chains and padlocks. Primm is a ghost town now. 2 casinos completely dark, 1 barely alive. And someone is still paying the electric bills to keep the lights on in buildings almost nobody enters. So who is paying those electric bills? The maintenance records tell the whole story. In 2016, MGM sold all 3 Primm properties to Affinity Gaming for $190 million, less than half what MGM paid 9 years earlier. Affinity Gaming is a smaller regional casino operator based in Las Vegas. They run properties in Nevada, Missouri, and Iowa. Mid-tier casinos, nothing fancy. Affinity bought Primm because the real estate was cheap and the gaming licenses were already in place. Nevada gaming licenses are valuable even if the casino is dying. You can hold the license, keep the property technically operational, and wait for the market to turn around. That is why the lights stay on at Buffalo Bill's even though the doors are locked. The neon signs still glow every night even though the ride has not moved since 2019. Affinity Gaming is keeping Primm on life support because shutting it down completely would mean surrendering the gaming licenses, and those licenses are worth more than the buildings. The cost of keeping Primm barely alive runs about $80,000 per month across all 3 properties. Electric bills, basic maintenance, security guards, minimal staff at Primm Valley to keep that one casino running, property taxes, insurance. Most of that money is being spent on empty buildings that generate almost no revenue. Buffalo Bill's sits dark, burning $40,000 a month in electricity and security. Whiskey Pete's costs another $25,000 per month. The only property making any money is Primm Valley, and it barely breaks even. Affinity Gaming is hemorrhaging cash every month. But they keep paying because they are betting on something changing. A new highway project, a new airport, something that will bring the 12 million visitors back. What they do not talk about is the human cost. Primm used to employ 1,200 people, dealers, housekeepers, cooks, maintenance workers, security guards, people who commuted 45 minutes each way from Jean or Good Springs or even Las Vegas because the tips were good and the work was steady. When MGM cut staff in 2008, that was 480 jobs gone. When COVID hit in 2020, another 300 disappeared. When Whiskey Pete's closed in 2023, another 120 jobs vanished. When Buffalo Bill shut down 6 weeks ago, 100 more people lost their paychecks. Total employment in Primm today sits around 400 people, down from 1,200 at peak. And most of those 400 work part-time at Primm Valley doing the bare minimum to keep the casino floor open. These were not corporate executives collecting severance packages. These were people who needed those jobs. Single parents working 2 shifts. Dealers in their 50s who had been working Primm tables for 20 years. Housekeepers who cleaned the same hotel rooms since the 1990s. Where did they go? Some found work in Las Vegas, longer commute, lower pay. Some left Nevada entirely. Some gave up on casinos and went into warehouses, or fast food or whatever would hire them. Nobody writes news articles about them, nobody makes documentaries, but they are the real cost of Primm's death. Not the empty buildings or the frozen roller coaster or the dark casino floors. The people who lost everything when 12 million visitors just stopped coming. So what killed Primm? The honest answer is everything killed it all at once. Gas prices made the drive expensive. Online shopping killed the outlet mall. California closed the tax loophole. Bigger outlet malls opened closer to Los Angeles. COVID broke the stopping habit, and corporate ownership bled it dry because Primm was competition they did not want to succeed. But the real answer, nobody wants to say out loud, is this: Primm died because America stopped needing places like Primm. We do not take road trips anymore. We do not stop at themed casinos in the desert. We do not browse outlet malls for 3 hours. We optimize. We drive straight through. We save time and gas money. Interstate 15 between Los Angeles and Las Vegas is only 270 miles. That is 4 hours in a decent car. People commute 4 hours round trip to work in LA traffic every day. Nobody needs to stop on a 4-hour drive anymore. Your car has better range. Your bladder can wait. The casino can wait. Primm was solving a problem that stopped existing. And Primm is not alone. John Nevada had the Gold Strike Casino, closed in 2020, never reopened. Mesquite, Nevada sits on the border between Vegas and Utah. Half the casinos there are struggling with 40% occupancy. State Line, Nevada near Lake Tahoe lost multiple properties in the last 5 years. Border town casinos are dying everywhere because they served a purpose that technology eliminated. They were rest stops on long drives. But in 2024, nobody needs to rest on a 4-hour drive. You make it straight through. Your electric car charges at the supercharger in 20 minutes. Your phone has GPS routing you around every backup. You do not need Primm. You do not need Gene. You barely need gas stations. Drive through Primm today and you can still see the bones. The Desperado track rusting against the desert sky. A monument to the 1990s when we built record-breaking roller coasters at rest stops, the Buffalo Bills Tower with lights turned off on the top 10 floors. The fashion outlets where maybe 30% of stores remain open, and your footsteps echo in empty hallways. The neon signs still light up at night. Whiskey Pete's Cowboy still waves. Buffalo Bill's Mountain still glows. They look fine from the highway if you're doing 80 and not paying attention, but if you stop, and you will not, you will see what is really there. Nothing, just another place where working people used to be welcome. Now empty. What makes it sad is this: Primm was not fancy. It was not exclusive. It was accessible Vegas, the place where your $100 gambling budget lasted all weekend, where you could walk in wearing shorts and nobody cared, where table minimums were $5 and hotel rooms cost $35. It was unpretentious, democratic. The American dream packaged as a cheap buffet and a roller coaster you could see from the highway. Now it is gone. And Vegas wants $450 per night with $45 resort fees and $25 table minimums. You cannot afford Vegas anymore unless you are already rich. Primm was supposed to be the alternative. Instead, it is a ghost town. Another place where regular folks got priced out of the dream they helped build. The house always wins, but this time, the house was America itself, and we all lost.